Sean Salisbury here for Open Sports. Let's take a look at some fantasy folks that you might want to. We got Thursday games, and obviously we got games all over the place this week. And happy Thanksgiving to you, by the way. Is your fantasy? It's about that time to start kicking in for playoffs. So I'm just going to give you maybe some reaches, and some reaches, as my good man Mel Kiper calls some certain draft picks that may not make it as a reach. So let's get some fantasy reaches, and they may not be reaches, but some people you might want to jump on in certain situations. First of all, I'll start with, I'm going to say Ashley Lally. Now, you say, what? Well, he plays the Kansas City Chiefs. He actually had a good game against his former team, the Denver Broncos, and maybe the Raiders will start to get into this thing a little bit. They ran the ball well with McFadden and Fargas. The defense played well. Maybe Jamarcus Russell starts to feel it. This is a former #1 pick, so I'm going to say that they're going to be able to throw the ball a little bit, and maybe Lally gets in to the end zone. I love Dustin Keller, the tight end for the Jets. And I know tight ends, this day and age, are giving people more points than they've ever given people in the past. I mean, I'm talking about in the last 4 years, tight ends have been huge. Dustin Keller for the Jets, the way Brett Favre's playing, and the number of plays and the number of minutes and the number of possessions that the Jets are getting and how good Favre's playing, Keller's become huge. I think he's not that may not be a reach the way the Jets are playing. Right now, they're the best team in the AFC. Pierre Thomas of the Saints, I like what he's doing. Bush was supposed to be probable for the game. We didn't see him. McAllister's still a little banged up. Pierre Thomas is a great change-up pitch, catching the ball and running it for the New Orleans Saints. We know they're going to score, so why not jump on a guy who's going to get an opportunity to score? Along with that, Lance Moore on his team. He's elevated his play, folks. And I know a lot of people were interested in him early in the year and drafted him, but maybe you put him on the back burner, bring him back out, because the Saints are going to continue to throw. In order for them to win, that's how they're going to win. They're going to throw it. And Lance Moore, with Marcus Colston, Moore has got himself going on with a couple touchdowns. I love the effort he's making. Plus, he can run after the catch. And the Saints, when they're playing from behind, have no problem throwing it 50 times, which means a lot of possessions. And you got to look at that now at this stage of the season. Teams that are getting their rear end kicked, like Detroit playing Tennessee this weekend, it could be body bags needed for that game for Detroit. Not this weekend, but Thursday on Thanksgiving. So you may see Culpepper, the Lions quarterback, throw 60 times. And if they have to throw 60 times, there may be a receiver or two or getting a guy like Kevin Smith out of the backfield that may give you some touchdowns or some points. So keep an eye on that down the stretch here in the last month or so of the season for teams you know are going to get their butt kicked, and you know that it could be a fantasy dream for the team that's getting its butt kicked because it's all about numbers. So Lance Moore is bringing numbers, and the Saints aren't getting their butt kicked, but even if they do, we know Drew Brees can put numbers up. And finally, Justin Fargas. I've told you about him from the beginning of the season all the way through. As long as that guy had carries, that he was going to make it happen. McFadden and him together, a very good 1-2 punch. I think Justin Fargas is one of the more underrated backs in the league. And if the Raiders can mix in the run and get him that 18 to 22, 23 carries, the guy's going to get you 100 yards and may get you a touchdown down there. So I'm a Fargas fan. I think the kid can play. And I also think that maybe we can get the Raiders on a little bit of a roll. I mean, it's not tough in the West to get on a roll as bad a football has been played out there. But Justin Fargas runs hard. He's the kind of guy you might want to latch on to, who can steal you a point or two here at the end of the season. I'm Sean Salisbury. Keep an eye on those matchups now in your fantasy league. This is Open Sports.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.